Hello world! So here I am again, and you can see that there's something different about my setup today. I'm recording from a DSLR camera. I was able to set it up as a webcam. I don't like doing any post-production. I don't like editing my videos because then I would have to get all expensive hardware for editing it, like all YouTubers do. So I just want to stick with OBS, and what I do is I connected my external camera as a webcam, and here in OBS I can switch between scenes. Let me show you now. We're looking at my screen, and now we're looking at me again. So this is fun, and I actually have another session of coding prepared for you. So let's just get to it. I'm gonna go back to my desktop. I'm gonna bring up focus list, and that's just because Tomato 2 is what I'm working on. And you can see I already spent a Pomodoro and on app blocking, and that's what we'll continue on. So I'll just start it and get right to it. So where we were so far, I'm gonna switch to the night mode here because it's dark, and I'll bump up the font size for you. So where we were, we had this app blocking manager, if I recall correctly, and this guy has a list of blocked apps. So what I'm thinking would be the most fun is to actually start blocking them. So it will be this app blocking manager that will do it. So you can see what I'm doing here, just adding a simple method. And well, how will we block? So we need to check for running apps, and we need to kill apps if they're running and they're not supposed to be. I'm pretty sure this was possible at some point. I'm not sure how possible it will be with sandbox and all that, but it used to be possible. Coco get list of running applications. It should be possible, like getting them should be possible through App Store. Like I mentioned before, there's an app called SwitchGlass that is like an alternate dock. So if they can do it, we can do it too. Would it be that easy? Okay, so this is more like, I think there's gonna be a certain piece of code that will be called over and over again. Because I think we'll have to like poll, right? We'll have to check every second or so, which is not too bad. We can run a bit of code every second. It's not gonna do too much damage to our CPU. Okay. I have to import AppKit. And just a note, if you're here for SwiftUI, today there won't be too much SwiftUI, so be prepared for that. This is more like good old Coco programming. Oh, running applications. So let's print all the running apps. And sometimes when I'm bored, I will do little emojis just to make sure I can find my console statement quickly. That still works. Okay, well, let's see the console. Okay, that's not happening. I know why it's not happening. That's not what I wanted. I know why it's not happening. This class is not being initialized until I get here. So that's the problem. To resolve that, we just go to AppDelegate and we make sure we always make an instance of this guy. So we'll do right here next to managers, we'll do let app blocking equals app blocking manager shared. What is now? Let's see what's running. First, in this example here, they were looking for activation policy. They were going like it has to be set to regular. I wonder if that's really necessary. So like, what are all these things? Oh, interesting. Running application. Okay, so like we will want to ignore things like com.apple.login window, obviously. Let's see what type is this. It's NSRunningApplication. So let's get some documentation for this and let's format this more nicely. App and apps. Let's see what information we can. Oh, let's see what information can we get for each running application. Is active, current, whatever, activation policy. Oh, we can print that, so we can print activation policy. Okay. Localize the name. Icon, very cool. Didn't know we could get the icon, that's awesome. Bundle identifier is going to be important because that's the unique identifier for the app. I think for now I'll be identifying them by name, but the bundle identifier is super important. Let's also get the bundle URL just for the fun. Bundle URL as get bundle URL. Whatever, launch date. Oh, that's cool. That's kind of neat, launch date. On this menu bar. Okay, well, let's run this again and let's see what's all the stuff that I got running on my machine. Okay, oh, there's a bunch of stuff. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. So here we got, for example, Focus Light, which is my own app, and the localize the name seems like that's exactly what we need. So what's the activation policy? Application activation policy. So it's Safari, so it's Google Chrome. How about Notification Center? It's also application activate. Hold on, I'm being dumb right now. Like, I will get NS application activation policy for each one of these. But for their values, application activation, to get their values, I need to look at all possible values this can get. So what do we have here? Regular, accessory, prohibited. Okay, I'm really curious about activation policy for each of these. So let's just go switch app.activation policy, and let's go case.accessory, print activation policy, accessory, break. Case dot prohibited. We'll just copy these. Here we'll say prohibited. Then case. Oh, come on. Case dot regular activation policy. I'm just really curious if it's okay that I only filter for regular policies, right? Oh, look at that. So Tomato 2, for example, the one that I'm currently running, it has activation policy set to accessory. And it's kind of strange because it has a window and all of that. That's super strange. Safari web content, accessory. Accessory. Focus list regular. So oh man, it's interesting. So Spotify is regular, Dropbox is accessory. I feel like I should only filter for regular policies. OBS, regular, preview, regular, Dropbox, okay, accessory. Okay, I feel like I should filter out. Yeah, hey, that's regular. What else is here? Moon, what is that? Oh, I know what it is. Right, okay, so it sounds like, well, I don't know. It sounds like I should only consider applications that have windows. So for now, I'm thinking I'll just get like regular activation policies and only work with those. So let's just try filtering down to those ones. So we'll do filter here, and we'll just do $0 activation policy equals regular. So let's see it now. Well, this list should be much smaller now. It is. I think I'm looking at things that display in the like command tab now, which is great. Get Safari, Focus Light, Google Chrome, Slack. So exactly, Slack is one of those things I'd like to block later. Now, how should we block? Let me go to my Tomato 2 preferences here, blocking, and okay, so blocking isn't currently enabled. Let's enable it. This will also start my network filter, but I have Slack now being blocked. And look at that, Slack is currently running, so that's a problem. What we have to do here is go through all running apps and go like, let name equals app.localize name, and then go like, hop, oh, hold on, this doesn't exist, and continue. Okay, so we get the name of the app. So now let's see if it's being blocked. So let is blocked equals self blocked apps contains, yes, name. Okay, so if it's not being blocked, is blocked, we just continue, we're not interested, but now we're at the point that we found an instance of app that's running and should be blocked, so we need to kill it. So we'll say killing, and we'll print the name here, name of the app. Killing Slack, that's exactly what I was going for. Let's make this a little more weapon, pistol. Oh, that's good, bomb was good. So we're killing it, good. So we're killing Slack now. Now, how do we actually kill it? Coco, terminate an app. All right, so will we have to use the that's not what I want. Coco, kill running app. If you're running the running application terminate method, I don't believe that will work. App.terminate. That's not gonna. Oh, I'm gonna force terminate it, but that's just not gonna work, right? Let's see the doc and look for Slack. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. Of course it didn't work. Attempts to force the receiver to quit. Alright, let's just print the result of this. Let result equals. This, yeah, Slack is still running. Blocking. Okay, result false, so it's like it didn't work. Let's just say terminate. Oh no, that's wrong. So regular terminate didn't work either, and didn't do anything to our Slack. So that didn't work. I think this is like a sandbox issue. And then we could try the Apple script. I don't believe this would work through App Store, but I could try it. I could try it. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, this probably wouldn't work through App Store, but it looks kind of beautiful. I think I'm gonna comment here. Oh, this is 2009. Okay, so this is still the outdated answer. I don't think I should bother commenting. This is also 2009. I need something more recent. Swift, terminate another running app Mac. If you look for Swift, there's a good chance it'll be more recent, because Swift is newer language. So I'm looking at documentation now. Can't use this man. False. Okay, so there's no way we could do this from our sandboxed apps. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be complicated. This is gonna be complicated. What is this? Stop Apple event. goodness, this won't be easy at all. Is this thing still working? Still working. So here's the deal. Your app is not running sandboxed via Apple script. Okay, your app has the necessary entitlements to use Apple script. And you need to know which apps to target. This isn't a blanket permission. So first thing we need to do is add entitlements to use Apple script. Apple security scripting targets. Let me see if we can do that. Entitlements, scripting something. Add row. And what should it be then? Oh man, you want me to enumerate all the things that, like all the apps that I want to target? That's not very much doable. It would be doable. We could just pick up all very common, very popular apps and list all of them. Okay, so it seems to me the only way to do this is to actually put into my entitlement all apps I might want to kill. So all the apps that I want to control. That's what it looks like. Scripting targets. You get iCall, system events, and I feel like if I do that, it's gonna ask me, it's gonna ask user if they want my app to allow controlling this and that app for each one of these apps. So that's a problem. Only maybe, oh my god, oh. Yeah, this is, that is too much. This is not easy. Now I understand why SwitchGlass doesn't support it. Makes sense. Oh, this is Eskimo. I've read a bunch of answers from him, but This one's kind of outdated, I think, because it's, well, 10 months ago. That's not too bad. So he says that they won't allow me to use this temporary exception. Yeah, this would have been too easy. Well, I feel like the only thing I can do now is to stop the Pomodoro if they launch one of those conflicting apps. I have a better idea. How about this? When they launch the app, Tomato will show a little warning and it will say, maybe it could pause the Tomato, and maybe it should be just a warning. It will say, like, you started Slack, which is blocked. Do you want to your Tomato will quit now? Will stop now because you launched Slack. Like, give them a timer to quit Slack. Otherwise, Tomato stops, something like that. Apple security automation, Apple events. That's a lot of apps. I would have something similar. This guy is kind of a jerk. Yeah. Well. What, already? I made no progress at all. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, I think that's what I have to use, but I want to try this method first. So this hasn't been very interesting or exciting or maybe useful for you. I think I'm just gonna stop the video now as the tomato is over. And I'm gonna keep doing a little bit of research by myself. I honestly don't know how those 25 minutes got by just now. But, well, I don't think there's gonna be any good solution. I think the only way to do this so-called blocking will be to prompt user, like to give user a visible warning about the fact that they're using an app that they have blocked. I don't see any way of quitting it through my App Store app. Only if I had listed all possible apps like in the entitlement, which is not very it's not a practical solution at all. So I think I'm just gonna have to go with like a nice big warning. So yeah, I guess we'll implement that in the next tomato. It's not ideal, but after all the effort I put into this feature, I don't want to just throw it away. I don't want to give up. It's like that. It's probably better than nothing, you know. It's like you decide you don't want to go on Slack, and it tells you, hey, you're on Slack. Are you sure you want to keep going with your Pomodoro session, or do you want to just stop it? Maybe it will force you to stop it in like 30 seconds, you know. If you don't quit Slack within 30 seconds, your session is gone. It's like the Forest app on phone. Whenever you leave your Forest app and do something else, it crashes your session. So it would be a similar principle. I guess we'll just try implementing that next. Thanks for watching. This was a boring one, I think, but I hope you enjoyed also some of these hard parts of macOS. See ya.